Right. Okay. So encryption, right? Passwords. So yeah, Netunima, are you using a strong password? Suansa, what about you?
Yes.
Netunima, are you using strong passwords? Yeah. Okay, good. Are you using the same password for all the accounts? Thinking that you might forget these different passwords. Sometimes we do that, right? Are you also doing it? If you are doing it, no. Okay, right. So when entering a password or a PIN, the characters are often masked. That means they are not shown. Instead, you see the dots or the asterisks, right? And because anyone can watch you type in the password. And you can also see that in ATMs, there's a kind of a blind behind uh, the ATM, so that if anyone is and the next person is kept little uh, at a distance, so that they won't see the password or the PIN, right? So PIN is a number, combination of numbers. Password can have characters, special characters, and everything. And now we use something called passphrase. Now the password, the concept of password is also gone. Now we have passphrase. Passphrase is a phrase, a sentence that we can type instead of a short password. So it's going to be longer, and you can imagine like how difficult it will be to guess that passphrase if it is a sentence, right? And I of course I use the same password for all the accounts. Actually, parts of the same password. Right, I use a different technique. I use parts of the same password, not different passwords. Okay, that's because my password is. What is the length of your password? Can I know, Nitinima? What's the length of your longest password? How many characters are there? So answer, just roughly.
9.
9. Nitinima? Nitinima?
Sir, 12.
Yeah,
12, sir.
12. Okay. And what's the first letter? What's the first letter of your password? So answer, Nitinima? What's the first letter of your password? Yeah, you're not going to tell that, no? That's good. So you didn't fall into the trap, right? So that can be social engineering, part of social engineering, right? That is, they try to motivate you, or they try to mislead you, so that they can take out something from you. So something what I did, like, what's the first letter, right? I think Netunima went to say that, no, but then the last minute she didn't. The length of my password is 22 characters. 22 characters. I started with a small password, and then I went on to add more codes into that. Whenever I see, you also can try this. Whenever I see something which stays in my mind, like a code or something, I add it to the existing password. So ultimately, this has grown to 22 characters. Now, if I look at my password, I know exactly where I joined. Where I joined those different codes. So what I do is, for one account, I use 2 of those joined words. For another, I use 3 of those joined words. For another one, I use the full password. So likewise, I rotate those. Right? You also write. You can make your password really long, and you can also remember it. At the same time, it will be really difficult to crack. right? Okay, then often it's better to use biometrics as much as possible, right? Because biometric is more authentic and it's difficult to forge, difficult to steal, and most importantly, you don't have to remember because you have the biometric, it's with you, right? Okay, then there's another security measure which is called Captcha, right? This is called Captcha. I think this is not strange to you. You must have seen, right? Captcha is some kind of a puzzle, small puzzle that you have to solve, right? For example, take a look at page 101. There you can see the image identification captcha test are another way of checking that users are human. So what's the purpose of having a captcha? Purpose is this: a captcha stands for a completely automated public Turing test to tell computers and humans apart. So the main idea is to separate the humans and the bots. Why? Because there are bots that can fill data into forms and create unnecessary user accounts, right? And these user accounts can be used to uh, spread spams, to spam other people. Okay, so to avoid this, when accepting data into a form, especially, there is a system called Captcha to differentiate a human from a bot. So they give a small puzzle. Just a minute. They give a small puzzle to solve, which can be solved only by a human, not by a bot. Understand? Have you seen this capture before? When you're filling forms, when you're creating accounts, have you? Next one, Swanson. Have you seen this capture test
So I got one recently.
recently? Right. Okay. Now it's there with all the accounts, most of the accounts. Nethrima, how about you?
Yes.
Yeah. So, Netrunima, have you seen this captcha?
Yes, sir.
Okay, right. So usually when you're registering an account, they ask for this captcha, right? So this will distinguish the bot uh, distinguish the human from the bot. This captcha is image captcha, where you have to select. They will ask like you select the animals, select the trees, right? See, I think you have seen that. Select the road signs like that. Then the one below, Captcha test can play audio versions for users who cannot read. So usually Captcha is text, right? It's a text, but the text is not the real text. It's an image, and the text is kind of distorted, like see, like this spider, things like that. And you are asked to type it. Now that cannot be done by the bot. Okay. And earlier, the Captcha text were just plain text, right? Not distorted at all, normal text. Then what happened was the bots were able to distinguish the letters, identify the letters, right? Because they had the OCR, optical character recognition, and still it was not effective. So then what they did was they showed the text as pictures, right? Even if it is pictures, if the letters are plain, then OCR will be able to recognize it, right? So then they started to distort the characters, put some design, color changes. Now it makes it even more difficult for the bot to identify, right? So some people have accessibility issues, like they cannot really see this text. It's very difficult to read, even for us, sometimes, right? And if they want, they can listen to spoken words of these, I mean, spoken version, audio versions of these words, and then they have to type. So when you come across an audio capture, just try that also, right? Usually with the text capture, there's an audio version for people with visual, like people cannot really read that. Right. Then then there's something called recapture, right? Uh, I have seen another capture, especially in Chinese applications, where you have uh, two parts of the same image, and one part you have to slide in and join with the other part, like those puzzles, and then only they distinguish that you are a human. Okay, so there are various types of capture. Then there's something called recapture. Recapture means, recapture means means like again. So capture, you use capture again and again. So why would you do that? Because these capture texts are coming from real books. They're taken from real books. They photograph these words, especially from old books, right? Were worn out, uh, books that are what do you call conserved, right? They take words from those books, and then you can ask for more words one after the other, and then you can help them to convert these words into actual text, because you'll be typing by looking at that photograph of the text. You are typing the text, right? So you are basically converting those printed words into actual text. So this will eventually help these people to convert those books into electronic versions, ebooks. Understand? Right?
Yes, sir.
Right. So you're actually helping for a community service, right? That's what recaptcha is. It will keep on showing you captcha text taken from real books, which are like worn out old books that needs restoration, right? And then you are helping them out to convert these books into electronic versions, right? And that's an example where you uh, uh, where companies use you kind of indirectly uh, as labor, as internet labor. You're working for a company without really knowing that you're working, and you're not being paid. So that's what this activity is about. It's a discussion about recapture, right? Okay, then you need to have anti-malware software, right? Anti-malware software like antivirus, anti-spyware, right? Now, antivirus software works like this. Uh, Antivirus has a database. In this database, it has details of viruses, right? It has knowledge about viruses. So when a suspicious file is found, it will check the details of that file against the database, and then it will take a necessary action. Like what? Like what? Sometimes it deletes the file, right? Usually, virus, just like the biological virus, just like corona, they need a body, right? Just like that, here viruses need another file. Usually, they get attached to exe files, executable files. Why executable files and batch files? Because executable files and batch files are run. They're executed. They are run. When they are run, the virus is also run, right? Virus also gets activated. Okay, that's why they get attached to these exes. So what happens is antivirus can delete this infected file. That's like if you are caught with the biological virus, we get rid of you, we kill you, right? So sometimes we cannot, right? Then what it does is we put you into quarantine. That's what we did in the pandemic, right? We cannot simply kill you, so we put you into quarantine. So some files, they are system files, they cannot be deleted, so they are put into a control state so that the virus will not spread, right? Contaminate other files. So you put it into quarantine, because we can live with the virus, right? If you take some virus like you know I don't know, some viruses are there, we have them, but we live, right? They're just inactive. Okay. So this database in the antivirus software, which um, has details about virus, is called the virus definition. And this database has to be updated, right? Maybe every day better, because there are new viruses built, created every day, every moment. So if you don't update the antivirus definition, virus definition, or the database, the details of viruses in the antivirus software, it won't be able to recognize the new viruses, right? So how do you update the antivirus definition? Right now here I'm using Avast antivirus software, free antivirus software. You just right click and you go to update and you select engine and virus definition. That will update the database. Okay, see, right? What is the antivirus software you use? Nijunima? So answer. Nijunima, what's the antivirus software you use? Not sure. You are checking now. So answer. Are you there in your seats?
Sir, Windows security?
Windows security. Okay, Windows security. You don't have any other antivirus software like Avast or Kaspersky? Don't you have McAfee?
Oh, yes, sir.
Yeah. Netunima, what do you have? What's your antivirus? So I'm using two. I'm using McAfee and Avast. You try Avast. It's free, and so far, like, nothing has happened. as long as you keep this up to date, right? Let you know what's your antivirus. Netrima? Netrima? Is your antivirus software? Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Netrima? Yeah, Netrima. I can't hear you. Okay, it's okay. So why don't you try Avast? I can guarantee you this is free and it's so good, right? If you have this Kaspersky and ESET, they tend to um, make the computer a bit slow, but this is great, right? But remember, this virus definition has to be, see, virus definitions are up to date, has to be updated. Why? Then only the new viruses will be detected by your antivirus software. Okay. So they might ask, like, why do you have to update the antivirus software regularly? You have to say antivirus software has a virus definition database, which keeps details of the viruses. It has to be updated. Then only it can detect the new viruses that are released every moment. So either you can set this to update automatically or you can do it manually, right? And another thing is that people used to say that the antivirus software companies and the hackers have a connection, right? Or the people who make viruses. Uh, it may be true, right? Because they one party makes viruses, the other party makes antiviruses, right? So it can be true, right? Then antivirus software basically will protect you from viruses, but there are other types of anti-malware software like anti-adware, because most of the time these advertisements they have a lot of threats, right? If you accidentally or purposely click on these advertisements, that can trigger downloading or an unauthorized access. They just want to trigger your click. Then anti-spyware, that is also important, right? So try something like Spybot, or there are plenty of anti-spyware software, right? So something like Spybot, they can search for spyware and get rid of that. So apart from antivirus, have a anti-spyware software also. There are plenty of it, but make sure that you select the proper ones. Look at the comments people have made. Otherwise, there can be malware that can act as anti-spyware, right? Spyware secretly monitors and records computer data and user input. For example, keylogger. Have you heard about keyloggers? Keyloggers is a type of anti-spyware which is really dangerous. Keyloggers, have you? Netrima, Swanson, have you heard about keyloggers?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Have you used? Have you used it on someone else's computer?
No, sir.
No. You haven't tried it.
No, sir.
Netrima, have you stolen someone's password using a keylogger?
No, sir.
Okay. I'll tell you, why don't you try this? It's really interesting. Okay, not to disrupt anyone. Even you can try it on your parents' account. I'm not motivating you to do harm. Okay, this is just to check even your password, your own password. I think do it on your own password, right? Just download the keylogger. This is just to check, right? We need to know how these work. Then only we can stay away from this, right? Just download the keylogger, and it'll run on the background. The dangerous part is it records all your keystrokes, whatever you type, your passwords, your usernames, everything is recorded in a text file. And the paid keyloggers will send that text file as an email to the unauthorized user. So it's so dangerous. This is why we should not use to log in internet cafes. Not only internet cafes, don't log into your accounts in your friend's laptop, because that person must have put a keylogger. There are plenty of keyloggers free, right? It's really dangerous, right? So just to see how it does this, you download a free keylogger and try it on your own account, and you'll be amazed to see how your password is recorded. And not only that, you can even make a small keylogger using a programming language, right? Because it basically what it does is when you press the key, it takes the ASCII value of that key, right? And then ASCII value can be turned back into the actual character, because when you press letter A, computer doesn't understand that you press A. It's a stream of bits. So you can find this stream of bits and then convert it back to the letter and store it in a text file, right? It's really dangerous, and it's crazy how these record. Remember, I told you about filter software. Filter software. Filter software usually comes with a built-in keylogger, right? So even keylogger is a type of spyware that monitors the records actions and such as key presses, even mouse movements. Criminals can then analyze this information to identify users' passwords, websites, for financial data such as credit card numbers and security. It's very dangerous, right? Anti-spyware software can detect them, quarantine or removes or delete. Okay. Right. So it's really dangerous, this keylogger, right? Okay, guys, I think I have to stop there. I need to go for a physical class. Uh, we have another class in 5 minutes. Yeah, that's the thing, right? So shall we try to meet in the evening, at night also, if possible?
So my class is finished at 9 today.
9 today. Okay. So after 9, let's see. I'm not sure.
Okay.
Not sure, because they asked for a 2-hour class at 10 o'clock today, 10:30. So let me see. 9:30 to 10:30 might be possible. I'll let you know, and then we can finish the chapter today. We have finished the half. We have the half, right? But you go through that section and be ready, right? Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Then see you.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.